Long ago, in the mighty city of Babylon, the streets were filled with traders, builders, and musicians. The golden sun rose over tall palace walls, shining on towers and gardens that seemed to touch the sky. Babylon was the most powerful kingdom of its time, ruled by King Nebuchadnezzar, a man of great pride and ambition. But in the heart of this proud city, 3 faithful men would soon show that no king was greater than their God. One morning, King Nebuchadnezzar ordered the creation of a magnificent statue made entirely of gold and standing nearly 100 feet tall. He wanted the whole kingdom to bow before it, to prove their loyalty to him. Trumpeters and messengers spread his command throughout every province. "When you hear the sound of music," they cried, "you must bow down and worship the king's golden image." Those who refused would face a fiery punishment. In the city square, workers polished the great statue until it gleamed like the sun. The people gathered from every nation and language. The air buzzed with drums and the sound of horns. The statue stood towering and silent, a symbol of power and pride. As the king stood before it, he smiled proudly, believing no one would dare to disobey him. Then, with a signal from the royal musicians, the trumpets and harps began to play. At once, thousands of people bowed to the ground, their faces pressed to the hot stone streets. The air shimmered with golden dust and the heat of the day. But among the sea of kneeling people, 3 figures stood tall, unmoving, unafraid, and faithful to their God. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego stood side by side, firm and calm. They remembered the commandment of their God, "You shall not bow to any image." Even though their hearts pounded, they would not disobey the Lord. All around them, whispers spread. "Look, those men are standing." But they remained still, their eyes lifted toward heaven. When the royal guard saw this, they hurried to the palace, their armor clanking. They bowed before the king and said, "O king, there are 3 men who refuse to obey your command. They do not worship your gods or bow before your statue." The king's eyes flashed with anger. His pride was wounded. "Bring them to me, now," he thundered. Guards rushed through the streets and seized the 3 men. They were brought before King Nebuchadnezzar, who towered above them on his golden throne. He shouted, "Is it true that you do not serve my gods or worship the golden image I have made?" The hall fell silent as everyone waited for their answer. With calm voices, the 3 men replied, "O king, we do not need to defend ourselves before you. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, our God is able to save us from it. But even if he does not, we will never serve your gods or worship the image you have made." The crowd gasped, and the king's face turned red with fury. Nebuchadnezzar ordered his soldiers to make the furnace 7 times hotter than usual. The heat shimmered through the air like waves. Strong soldiers tied Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego with thick ropes. Flames roared so fiercely that the soldiers themselves could hardly stand near it. At the king's command, the soldiers threw the 3 men into the fire. The flames exploded upward, and the crowd gasped in horror. The heat was so intense that the soldiers who threw them in were burned instantly. The king leaned forward from his throne, waiting for the fire to destroy them. Moments later, the king's eyes widened. "Wait," he shouted. "Didn't we throw 3 men into the fire?" One of his advisors stammered, "Yes, O king, 3 men." The king pointed toward the furnace. "But I see 4 men walking in the fire, unbound and unharmed, and the 4th one looks like the Son of God." The flames danced harmlessly around them, and the light of heaven filled the furnace. The crowd watched in awe as the men walked calmly among the flames. Their clothes didn't burn, their hair was untouched, and their faces shone with peace. Even the guards trembled, realizing they were witnessing a miracle no human power could explain. The fire obeyed God's command. The king stood and called out, "Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, servants of the Most High God, come out!" And they stepped out of the furnace, surrounded by glowing light. The crowd backed away in amazement. There was no smell of smoke on them, not even a single burn mark. God had saved them completely. Nebuchadnezzar fell to his knees and cried out, "Praise be to the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego! No other God can save in this way." He ordered that no one in Babylon should ever speak against their God again. The mighty king had finally bowed to the power of the Lord. The king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to positions of honor in Babylon. The people respected them, for their courage had proven the greatness of their God. From that day forward, their story became a beacon of faith across the land, a reminder that obedience to God brings victory, not shame. As the years passed, their faith continued to inspire others. Parents told their children about the 3 men who stood firm even when threatened by fire. Their story taught everyone that faith is not about safety. It's about trusting God, no matter the cost. The sun set over Babylon in soft golden light. Palm trees swayed gently, and the golden statue stood still, now only a memory of human pride. The city glowed in peace as the sound of gentle music filled the air. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego stood together, watching the sky, thankful for God's faithfulness. And so, the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego reminds us all that even in the hottest fire, God is with those who trust Him. Thank you for watching Kids Bible Stories. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more wonderful stories from God's Word. Join us again next time for another journey through the Bible.